Hey friends, welcome to my channel MF for you, and welcome to those who are watching it for the first time. Welcome back to those who have already subscribed to my channel and had been watching my videos ever since I've started running my YouTube channel. So another weekend, another video for all of you with something important, informative, and interesting. If that is what you think of it once you watch this video. So before I proceed, what I would like to tell to all of my viewers that the video is made for the informational purpose with no intent to promote any brand, product, service, agency, company, etc. And whatever is being discussed or being shared in this video is made for the informational purpose and for your guidance. And it's based upon my experience, personal experience and exposure and the resources or the sources, whatever I follow. And yes, and there's one more thing which I'll be talking about in the last part of this video. So to watch the complete video, don't try to miss anything. And if I'm saying that, what happens, what I've realized that I'm making these videos, I'm trying to, and the people trying to connect with me, and they ask me questions which I've already discussed in my videos. So I asked them, did you see my videos? And they say, yes, I did see your video. I am watching your videos. I said, no, you haven't done that. Even if you have done that, you have tried to skip my videos or the content of the video. So what you guys do, you try to, just quickly skip to the contents, whatever you think that you are interested in. But my personal suggestion to all of you is that don't try to skip the videos, because whatever time or whatever effort I take to make this video, I'm not just sharing the information. Actually, I'm sharing the experience. So, and I'm not sure whether you're aware of it. I've got plenty of experience from India, from US, and now I'm here in UK. I know plenty of stuff, so I'm not saying that I know everything, but whatever I'm sharing, it's definitely going to help you out. So please don't skip the content of the videos. Do watch the complete video whenever I'm making these content on my channel. So yes, in the beginning, as I said, it has something to do with the job. So what you need to get a job, just in case if I ask you, what exactly do you need to get a job? Maybe your qualification, experience, or what would you say? Expertise, something like that? No, actually, you need a CV or a resume. So that's pretty basic. I know there was no catch. So you got to be really good with your resume or CV. And before I begin, or before I start talking about the do's and don'ts, that is what this video is going to be about. Sorry, I didn't introduce the video. So this video is going to be about what is expected of you, on your CV, and what is not expected on your CV, at least for UK. So, but yes, before I proceed, let me just very briefly tell you what there is a basic difference between the CV and the resume. So when we say CV is more inclined towards academic thing. For example, it talks a lot about, or in detail about what you have gone through in terms of your academics, like your thesis, dissertations, research, publications. If you've got something, and CV is meant primarily for what do you call, for academic purpose. Like if you're applying for a postdoc position, PhD, research assistants, teaching assistant, something like this. So it is very descriptive in nature. It is very, you can say, yeah, it is descriptive in nature, and it might go even from 2 to 4 pages. But when you talk about resume is something, it's very informative, but it is very concise. So it should be restricted within 2 pages. That is what is expected by the employers or by the recruiters, because they don't have time to to go all those things, whatever you have experienced or exposed to so far. So yes, when I say that the CV is more inclined towards academic thing, I'm not saying that resume doesn't include your academics. So it does have that educational section, uh, which is very very brief in nature. I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about that. So yes, in fact, I should tell you that in your resume, when you talk about your education, it is primarily very briefly it says what you have done, in case if there is any specialization that you have done in particular degree, that is what you mention. And just in case if you feel comfortable mentioning the modules, whatever you have modules you have covered in those degrees, whatever you have done, maybe during the bachelor's or during the master's. And these modules should keep on changing based on what job you are applying for. Okay, so it's if you're somebody who is into healthcare, for example, that's pretty easy for me because I'm coming from healthcare background. So if you talk about healthcare, uh, I may be going for a teaching assistant position or a research assistant position or something. So I'll be talking very something about the skills that I've developed during the lab work, or via my dissertation or thesis or research and all those things. So I'll try to cover those modules that are very much relevant to the job profile that I'm applying to, just in case if I'm going towards something into computers, being into healthcare, or data analytics, and all those things. So I can talk about the computers, any course that I've done in the past. For example, I've done something into biostatistics or statistics or epidemiology. I've studied extensively on MS Excel, so it has got major applications in the field of healthcare. So I can mention those modules only, so as to give a sense of assurance or a confidence to the employer or to the recruiter that this candidate is a good fit for the job that he has or she has applied for. I mean, not just from the theory perspective, that this guy has some experience as well. So this is how it matters. So yes, coming to the basic the basic thing about this video, which this video is about. So do's and the don'ts. So I've noted down certain do's that is expected on CVs, and certain don'ts which are more or less opposite to what I'll be talking in the do's section. You'll be seeing this green information chip with me from the last video. I had this as well, and in this video too I'm having this. So what the reason is, just as I keep saying, that I'm sharing the experience. It's not very too much of technical that I discuss, or too much of technical that I share with all of you. That's why, I mean, I tend to I don't try to restrict myself into the duration of the video, whether it is going for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or maybe even more than that. The last video was for 22 minutes. I didn't realize this is so why I'm saying that, because I try to cover as much as I can, so I just do not miss out on anything. And even if that happens, still I try to cover that in the description. When I finish my video, upload my video, I try to cover those missed part in the description, so that you guys are provided with full set of information. Although you are not doing it, most of you are not doing, unfortunately, please do that. Just don't watch my videos, also go to the description just to check if there is something additional being mentioned over there, which was not covered during the video. So yes, coming to the point, do's. First, it should be presentable. How you can make it presentable? There are a couple of things. For example, the first thing, because you'll be mentioning your the contact details, and in the contact details, it's not your mobile number, it's not your address, it's your email address, actually. That matters the most. So I've seen a few CVs slash resumes in the recent times, and interestingly, I saw very fascinating email IDs. So I can tell you that it's good, I mean, to have those eye-catchy email IDs or fascinating email IDs, but it's not professional, actually. So when you're intending to go into a profession job, or a professional job, or in a professional setting, try to match up with the requirements or like the expectations. So this is one of those things. Try to have an email ID which looks more professional. For example, your actual name on followed by the domain name, or if in case, unfortunately, if it's not available, you can just play around with the numbers. For example, your date of birth, or whatever, house number, etc., whatever. But try to keep it very formal. As just as I said, your name followed by the domain name. That's the best I can say. And yes, talking about the presentation, it should be uniform throughout. In For example, you're using the font size. I've seen people use different fonts for different section. For example, in the summary part, they're using different font for the heading, and for the next heading, they'll be using different font, maybe italics or something, something. So please don't do that. Just keep the font size as well as the font uniform throughout your resume, and it should be in the 2 pages. I didn't mention that. So your resume should not go beyond 2 pages anyhow. Nobody's going to read the entire story. So you got to be really informative yet concise. Yes, I was talking about the font. So you can use Arial, or you can use Calibri, or maybe you can use, not maybe, but you can certainly use Times New Roman. This is something like a universally accepted. So you can use that. And just to give you an example, if you're giving a heading, you can keep it 12 or in bold, and when you are actually writing the text, you can simply keep it in font size of 12, no bold. So that's how you differentiate the heading from the actual text or from the subheading. So I'm just giving an example, okay? But what I'm trying to say that just keep it uniform throughout your resume. So that was about the font. And yes, a chronology must be followed. I know it's a cliche for everybody knows this thing, but still, as I said, I don't want to miss out on anything. So please follow a chronology, starting with your academics, and then going to your experience, just in case if you are a working professional or had been a working professional before you came here. So that is a chronology must be followed, starting with the latest one, the one which you are currently, the last qualification that you had, or the last work that you did. So that's where you started from. Okay, so and what else? Mm, 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 mm. Yes, there's one more thing. When you talk about your educational qualification, or your work experience, try to use bullet points. Don't try to use write sentences or keep it in paragraphs. As I said, nobody's interested in reading the stories. They just look for the keywords, and that is where these bullet points comes into play. When you try to write everything in bullet points, maybe instead of writing 6 7 sentences, you can write 6 7 bullet points with keywords. For example, if you're applying for a job, just go to the job description of that particular job and try to catch the keywords, or get the keywords from the job description of that job that you are going to apply for, and get those keywords from there. Try to merge those keywords into your resume, in different sections, maybe into your educational part, or into your experience part, or maybe into skills. You can put those keywords. So because what happens, like, the recruiters are searching the candidates via keywords. They are not searching you with your name or with your educational qualification. They search candidates via the keywords. So this is it looks very minimal, minimal stuff, but it is very critical actually. So that's how you match your CV or your application with the job that you're applying for. So get the keywords from the job description provided on the portal, and just get those merged into your resume, and that's how you make it look, or you just make it stand out in for the recruiter, or the HR, or for the employer, whatever you can call it. And yes, you certainly talk about your skills, maybe soft skills, communication skills, or technical skills, in case if you have something, if you're coming from a background wherein you have attained certain certifications or qualifications which are not a part of your actual education. So you can put those things into skills, like saying technical or computer skills or something like that, in case if you have done any certification or something. And communication skills, especially for a country like UK, if you are multilingual, for example, if you know Hindi, English, Urdu, Bangla, in any European language, so it does make any big difference. Not exactly big, but yes, it does make a difference. So please do that, in case if you are a multilingual person. So that was about the do's. Yes. So, and when we talk about don'ts, actually, it's going to be just opposite of what I said. Don't try to be too informative. Don't try to provide too much of information. You shouldn't be writing paragraphs like you did so and so things, and this is how you attain something. You have to present, or you have to convey things in just one or two sentences, not more than that. Anyhow, I'm sorry, I missed one thing in the do's part. Yes, you're supposed to use active voice. It's sort of grammar. So if you're that's there is active voice and there is passive voice. I'm not so good with grammar, but I'm just telling you, you can just search it and see what the difference is between the active and the passive. So if you try, I mean, using the passive language, for example, you worked in so and so organization, and within so and so duration you achieved something by doing that thing. So there are four parts of the same thing. Instead of saying the same thing in four different sentences, you can just say you achieved so and so position, or whatever achievement you have, in just so and so duration. That's it. So instead of writing four different parts for a single achievement, you just restricted it by saying in just two parts what you achieved in what duration. Simple. So that is called active. So you are writing everything in the active voice, not in the passive voice. So if you keep on writing in the passive voice, it becomes a story, and you won't be able to restrict your CV in just 2 pages. Now I'm going back to the don'ts. So don't write a story, as I said, and don't try to put irrelevant information. So if I'm saying irrelevant information, if you remember in the just do's parts, when I mentioned, try to match up your education or your experience with the job that you're applying for, by going by the key, just going through the job description and getting the keywords out from there. So that's where I'm talking, uh, that there shouldn't be any irrelevant information. For example, if you are applying for a job which requires a lot of expertise of computers or mathematics or numbers, and you keep on talking about what you've done in the lab, or you were engaged with certain apparatus or something, whatever you used in the wet lab. So it's not going to make any good impact on the recruiter or on the employers. See, and they might even lose interest while going through your resume. So please don't do that. Try to match up your CV for every job. So that is basically what I'm trying to convey. Different font size for different sections, please. It's a big no. It really gives a very bad picture. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are in terms of your academics or in terms of experience that you have, but if your resume gives a picture wherein it's certain headings just hit you right on your face all of a sudden with big fonts and highlighters, and the text is comparatively dull in nature, so it doesn't look so good. Please don't do that. As I said, keep it uniform. Just you can what you can do at most, just keep the headings in bold. That's it. And yes, as I said, don't try to highlight anything. Don't try to highlight anything, underscoring different, using different colors and all those things. Don't do that. And yes, yes, don't put your photographs on your resume ever, even on your CVs. Don't do that. It's something, it's nobody would say no. I mean, they won't say that it's not required, but this is something that they personally don't like. This is what I've come to know. And as I said, I'm sharing this experience specifically for this thing, for the CV and resume part, and it's coming from India, US, UK. So everything is combined all at once. So please keep these things in your mind. And if, I mean, when you are actually working on your CVs, resume, whatever you can call it, so please watch my video, just jot down some points, and then see if you have covered everything what I've discussed in this video, and what you see on your on your actual document. Or what you can do, you can also try to Google something, and there are certain professional websites such as LinkedIn or what, or Read Scientific is there. So you've got certain templates over there. You can use those templates, and y- and you can use my video as well. So whatever points that I've discussed, you can use that. And yeah, so the reason why I've made this video, and nobody, I've not seen students or people asking for, please make a video on CV or resume or something, but actually they struggle. I mean, they keep on applying for jobs, and they they just don't get response from the recruiters. There's a big reason why you don't get response from the employers, is that we don't spend time on writing our resumes or CVs when we are applying for jobs. So what I'm saying, and what I'm stressing upon, is that every single time that you sit and apply for a job, always work out on your resume. Don't just stick to a single document. For example, if you have made your resume after watching this video, and with the help of me, obviously I'll be there to help you guys, as I always do. And you think that you have made up one resume and it is good for UK throughout, it might be true to an extent, but it's not going to be a universal thing for you. Like as I said, you got to be specific for every job. So every time you apply for a job, open the job description, or JD, that is how it is abbreviated as, and see your resume and start editing your resume again, and save it as a new document, and then use the same document for that specific job. So that is how. So for example, you're applying for 10 jobs, ideally you should be having at least 8 to 10 resume with you. It's not going to be 10 jobs and just one resume. No, big no. Please don't do that. And what I can tell you, and yes, most of the not most of the employers or recruiters, but certain organizations or certain recruiters are expecting cover letters along with the resume or CV. So you can work upon your cover letter also. What I can do, I can provide you a link of certain websites wherein you can find a template for the cover letter. It's not possible for me to discuss what you're expected to write on your cover letter. Just in case if you are struggling and if you really want me to help you guys with your cover letter, I can do that too. And it will take some time, I'm telling you. So you can connect with me and I would be more than happy to walk you through your resume writing or your cover letter writing. I can do that. And but yes, you got to work on it on your own first, and then we can connect and see where are we. So here I would like to end my video, and before I leave, I would like to say a couple of things. First, do subscribe to my channel, keep watching my videos, and don't skip the content of any video. Please go through the entire video, like it, and please share it, and most importantly, comment. Give me some feedback or provide me with some suggestion, and ask as many questions as you can. I'm being very pro with responding to the comments, whatever I'm receiving on my channel or on my videos. And yes, with that, stay healthy, safe, and happy. We'll see you in the next video in the coming week. Take care. Bye bye.